We have news on Southampton's search for a manager, Mark McAdam.
Yes, thanks very much, Nick. Welcome to the South Coast and St Mary's. Some breaking and developing news in the last few moments as well, and that is that Jesse Marsch won't become the new Southampton manager. Talks have broken down today. We know that Jesse Marsch came down to the South Coast last night. He stayed in a local hotel and was due to meet the owners this morning after verbally agreeing to become the new Southampton boss yesterday. But after talks that went on for several hours, it was decided by both Southampton, the board, and Jesse Marsch that this wasn't the right project for him. I think he was keen on a longer-term contract as well, and Southampton just wanted to appoint someone that could see them through to the summer and potentially keep them in the Premier League. So those negotiations that started off so well at the beginning of the week, halfway through the week, have not ended as both parties expected. So that leaves now Southampton looking for a new manager. It's our understanding that Ruben Sellers will be taking the team for the trip to Chelsea and Stamford Bridge at the weekend. He's a coach that is very highly thought of by the Southampton board. He's coached in Russia, Denmark and Greece, as well as England. He joined Ralph Hasenhüttl's backroom setup in the summer, so he's been at Southampton less than a year, but is highly thought of by the players. He'll be guiding the team for the moment. However, Southampton's board now have to decide whether they think he's the man that can keep the team in the Premier League or whether they go back to the drawing board. We know that Wayne Rooney, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, as well as various other managers have been interested in this job and linked with the Southampton role. It's now the Southampton's board's decision to decide, what do we do here? Do we stick with what we've got and go with the group and the coaching staff, or do we look to bring in a new manager? Of course, this is a developing story. Things are changing by the minute. You saw it in January with Arnaud Danjuma, who you thought would be going to Everton. He changed his mind and went to Spurs. We thought Jesse Marsch would become the new Southampton boss this morning. That's not going to happen. That's how quickly sports news changes. And as you can see here down on the South Coast at St Mary's, I'll be keeping my eyes and ears open because things are developing by the minute. So some big breaking news, just to recap, that the talks between Jesse Marsch and Southampton broke down today at lunchtime, and the search for a new Saints boss continues.
And in the short term, and things can unravel pretty quickly in the short term, they need points desperately. Massive job for Ruben Sellers just to rally those players at a club that is surrounded by negativity and make sure they get some points from somewhere fast.
Absolutely. He needs to hit the ground running, get on that training pitch and give a real belief to that group of players that currently sit bottom of the Premier League. They've only won 4 top-flight matches all season. They've only won once since the middle of October in the league. The 3 wins before that came under Ralph Hasenhüttl, and we showed you some of the metrics and data recently about their XG, about the goals that they've conceded, about their recent form, and of course they have really been struggling. Just 1 win in 8 Premier League matches for Nathan Jones led to him getting the sack, and you just get the feeling as well from the fan base and the people we've been speaking to in and around the training ground and the stadium and what you're seeing and reading on social media, that there's a real frustration that the board couldn't get a deal done for an out-of-work manager. They want someone to come in and lift this football club and give it an injection of life and belief and really change the fortunes, because over the last few years, whilst Ralph kept them in the Premier League, they were always a side that was finishing in the bottom half of the Premier League. And when you look back to the days of Mauricio Pochettino and Ronald Koeman, when they finished 5th and 6th and they were challenging for European places, this football club has had a very steep decline in the last few years. So the fans just want some belief. They want someone to come in and change this football club around. And that's the job now of the Southampton board. They have to find that man that can give this place a real lift.